climate has been changing over geological time. The current period of global warming is happening quicker, and scientists are concerned that the change has serious implications for the stability of the planet. The greenhouse effect is partner to global warming, and it refers to the way our atmosphere traps energy from the sun. Without this effect, the Earth would be 30 degrees colder, making life hostile. Scientists believe we're adding to the effect with gases released from industry, agriculture, trapping and increasing temperature, which is referred to as global warming. To continue, living in a state like Florida, we're more at risk for drought in the inland areas during hot summers, and we should expect more rainfall with an increase in more hurricanes and severe storms. We know how destructive they are and how prevalent they've become, therefore taking action is important. The purpose of my speech is to persuade you that global warming is a real and serious issue. The two arguments and solution I will present to you is that global warming is creating extremely damaging conditions to Earth. There are lifelong effects that will be irreversible if we don't take action now, and we can take the offered solutions and use them to benefit Earth as a whole. In an article reported by Holly Shaftel on September 21st, 2018 on NASA.gov, and an article called Climate Change, How Do We Know?, it was suggested that in the last 650,000 years, there have been 7 cycles of glacial retreat and advancement with the end of the last ice age 7,000 years ago, which marked the beginning of the climate era and human civilization. Evidence lies in global temperature rise, warming oceans, shrinking ice sheets, glacial retreat, decreased snow cover, sea level rise, declining Arctic sea, ice, extreme events, and ocean acidification. The current warming trend is significant because 95% is the result of human activity since the 20th century and continuing at a rate that's groundbreaking over decades. Someone may be thinking it's just the sun or it's not that bad, to which I'll say, over the last 35 years, the sun has shown a cooling trend. However, temperatures continue to rise. If the sun's energy is decreasing while Earth is warming, then the sun can't be the main control of temperature. Climate change impacts will give few to no benefits, but may do great harm at considerable costs, such as affecting agriculture, our health, polar melting, ocean acidification, melting glaciers, environmental and economic problems too. Now that we've discussed the first argument, we can move on to the next one. In an article reported by Holly Shaftel on August 8, 2018 on NASA.gov, in an article called A Blanket Around the Earth, it was noted that the main cause of global warming is human expansion of the greenhouse effect. The sun's radiation comes in light waves and heats the Earth. Some radiation is absorbed, which warms the Earth and re-radiates back into space in the form of infrared radiation. Some outgoing infrared is trapped inside the atmosphere, and this thin layer of the atmosphere thickens with pollution, traps more infrared radiation. When the atmosphere heats up worldwide, and then this is where we see global warming happening. Changes will continue through a century, temperatures will rise, frost-free season will lengthen, changes in precipitation will happen, we'll see more droughts and heat waves will continue, hurricanes will become stronger, sea level will rise by 4 feet, the Arctic will become ice-free, and as well as regional effects too. Continue. One might say, oh, climate change is just a part of a natural cycle. No natural cycle has been identified. There's no climatological theory that CO2 doesn't drive temperature, and the natural cycle doesn't exhibit the same changes that we're seeing today. You need to identify the mechanism behind this cycle. You'd also have to come up with an explanation for why there's a 35% increase in the second most important greenhouse gas and how it doesn't affect global temperature. Finally, we can review the solutions that can solve global climate change. Next. In an article reviewed by Paul Hawken in 2017 on greenamerica.org, in an article called Top 10 Solutions to Reverse Climate Change, it was mentioned that the top 10 solutions to reverse climate change includes refrigerant management, wind turbines, reduced food waste, plant-based diets, tropical forest restoration, educating girls, family planning, solar farms, silvopasture, and rooftop solar. Next. It would be valid to say that these measures might work, but again, the opposition may mention that the Kyoto Protocol is a big effort for nothing. The Kyoto Treaty is through nations that set measured limits on the usage of greenhouse emissions. Their purpose is to stabilize human-generated emissions at a level that won't inflict further harm on the atmosphere. It requires members to create policies and measures to offset emissions and to increase the absorption of greenhouse gases. It's been effective from 2013 all the way to 2020. All UN states except for Andorra, the US, Canada, South Sudan have all signed and ratified this treaty. In conclusion, I've explained why global warming change is a serious issue by discussing that global warming is creating extremely damaging conditions to the Earth. There are lifelong effects that will be irreversible if we don't take action now. We can take the solutions offered and use them to benefit Earth. And I hope through this speech that you've understood and seen why global warming is so important, and that the solutions are something that you'll implement in your life so that we can begin to reverse this problem.